This is your NFL Week 12 recap with Guys of the Bar Talking Sports.
What? Are you doing season 2 of that stupid show?
Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys of the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, how can I help these guys out? Well, first thing you can do, subscribe to the show. By subscribing to the show, you'll be able to hear it every single week on your favorite podcatcher. Second thing you do, if your podcatcher lets you do it, give it a review and 5 stars. I know Apple Podcasts will allow you to do that. So give it 5 stars and a review. And then the third thing you do is hop on Facebook, type in Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. You'll see our group there. Join it. You'll love it. Best sports group on Facebook, guaranteed. Lots of good stuff going on in there, so check it out. And then come back next week for Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Week 12 NFL Weekly Update with your boy Hanger from Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Doing a recap of all the things that happened from Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you on through Monday Night Football. And let's go ahead and start right off with this. You had the Bears playing the Lions at that noon game on Thursday, Thanksgiving. We all kind of thought it would be a snooze fest. Lions are just a terrible team, 0 wins, and they continue to have 0 wins now after losing to the Bears 16-14. Just a crying shame that these two teams had to play each other. Bears played Andy Dalton, who was 24 for 39 with 317 yards. Jared Goff from the Lions was 21 for 25 with 171 yards. And not very good of a game at all to watch. Next game you had that 3:30 game, or 4 o'clock or so, I believe it was the Raiders versus the Cowboys. And this was a high-scoring shootout game. Cowboys had 33 points while the Raiders had 36 points. And the Raiders take that win. They are 6-5 now. And the Dallas Cowboys fall to 7-4. Cowboys, Dak Prescott, 32 for 47 with 375 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was playing pretty good. I think this was actually a pretty solid game. Nice little shootout game there. And right at the end, it went into overtime because they were tied at fourth quarter, obviously. Overtime, Las Vegas Raiders get their 3 points and win the game. Bills versus the Saints was the final game that day, and it was just a blowout by the Bills. Bills are a solid team this season. They are now 7-4 after beating the Saints 31-6. Josh Allen from the Bills was 23 for 28 with 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. The dude threw 2 interceptions, but the New Orleans Saints was unable to capitalize on that and still were only able to score 6 points. Talk about on Sunday was the Steelers versus the Bengals. Bengals are now 7-4 after beating the Steelers 41-10. Ben Roethlisberger was 24 for 41 with 263 yards, while Joe Burrow was 20 for 24 and 190 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 1 interception thrown. Great win for the Bengals, being at 7-4. That is very solid for these guys to be there at this point in the season. Panthers versus Dolphins. Panthers are just not doing too well with Cam Newton in the game. He was actually pulled in the fourth quarter because he just was not performing. Panthers are now 5-7 after losing to the Miami Dolphins, who rise up to 5-7. Dolphins win 33-10. A huge snooze fest of a game on Sunday was the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. New York Giants score first and put up 3 points in the first quarter, but no one scores not a single point for the rest of the first half. But then the New York Giants are able to score another 7 points in the third, and New York Giants win 13-7. Not the most interesting game to watch, I must say. Jalen Hurts from the Eagles was 14 for 31, 129 yards, and threw 3 interceptions. Come on, Jalen. Figure out how to connect that ball, and you'll be doing just fine, I'm sure. Patriots continue their run under Mac Jones and win against the Tennessee Titans 36-13. New England is still the leader in their conference and in their division. 8-4 now, 36-13 win. Ryan Tannehill from the Titans was 11 for 21 with 93 yards through the air. That's it. While Mac Jones was 23 for 32 with 310 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. Bill Belichick is continuing that legacy over there in New England. Falcons get a win against the Jaguars. Easy win. Jaguars are a terrible team. We all know that. Atlanta Falcons are now 5-6 after winning 21-14. Matt Ryan, 19 for 29 and 190 yards, while Trevor Lawrence was 23 for 42 and 228 yards, had 1 touchdown and 1 interception thrown in that game. I really did think it was over for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after the first half. They were down 24-14 against the Indianapolis Colts, but this was a strong second half showing for the Buccaneers. Defense stood up, only allowed 7 points by the Colts in the third and fourth quarter, and then Tampa Bay was able to score 24 points between the third and fourth quarter as well. Leonard Fournette was just insane. 17 carries, 100 yards, and 3 touchdown runs, while Tom Brady was 25 for 34, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. Final score, 38-31 Tampa Bay. The Jets get a win against the Texans. Texans are 2-9. This was a battle for a terrible record. Battle to see who could have the worst record, I guess, because both teams came in with 2 wins and 8 losses. New York Jets put Zach Wilson in. I assume that they would at some point because the previous quarterback that they've been using for the last couple of weeks was just not performing. Jets, Zach Wilson was 14 for 24, 145 yards, did throw an interception, but they were able to score some touchdowns as well through their rushing plays as well. And then you had a win of 21-14 for the New York Jets. Houston Texans are just absolutely terrible to watch as well. Sad to say, because I kind of, that's a good team out there with a good fan base. Moving on over to the Broncos versus the Chargers. Chargers have a hard time playing against the Broncos. They fall to 6-5, while the Broncos are now 6-5. Broncos win 28-13. Justin Herbert over there in Los Angeles, he was 28 for 44, 303 yards and 2 touchdowns. The weakness was the 2 interceptions that he had, while Teddy Bridgewater was 11 for 18, 129 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Final score 28-13, as I said. 49ers versus the Vikings. Great game over there on Sunday as well. Kirk Cousins, 20 for 32, 238 yards for the Vikings, while Jimmy G was 17 for 26, 230 yards. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name when I'm talking on a podcast. 17 for 26, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, but just running like crazy. Deebo Samuel, 6 carries for 66 yards with 2 touchdowns, while Eli Mitchell had 1 touchdown as well, rushing for the 49ers. Final score 34-26. 49ers take that win. Packers and the Rams had a high-scoring game. Green Bay is now 9-3, and Los Angeles falls to 7-4. 36-28 win for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, man, when he's playing, because the most recent loss they had, he was not playing. And it was just, they're doing playing some very solid football. He specifically is. He was 28 for 45, 307 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that win against the Los Angeles Rams. Browns versus the Ravens. Nice low-scoring game. Pretty boring to watch. Baker Mayfield was 18 for 37 and 247 yards with one touchdown pass. They only had one touchdown. The other was a field goal they scored. They scored 10 points, while the Ravens were able to score 16 points in their win. Ravens are now 8-3. Lamar Jackson was 20 for 32 and 165 yards, one touchdown. The dude throws 4 interceptions. Learn to connect, man. You guys would have had some major points on the board right there for sure. Lamar Jackson also led his team in rushing, 17 carries, 68 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry. Very solid win for the Ravens, though, because they needed that, and I believe that they are leading their conference right now as well, or maybe their division as well. And finally, in Monday Night Football, you had the Seahawks playing Washington. Seahawks, I believe they have 4 straight losses now, and Russell Wilson is being looked at very critically over there in Seattle. Washington football team are now 5-6 after winning 17-15 against the Seahawks. And Taylor Hinkle, I believe, or Hink is how you pronounced, I believe, 27 for 35, 223 yards, one touchdown for the Washington football team. Why? And when are they going to change their damn name, by the way? Russell Wilson, 30 for 31, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Just could not pull it off. The Seattle Seahawks need a win in order to look like they're going to do something for sure. It's looking scary over there for them. Let's go ahead and get into the standings really fast for the American Football Conference, the AFC, and then also the NFC, just so you guys know where all the teams are standing as well. Patriots are 1 game up on the Bills in the AFC East. Patriots are 8-4, while the Bills are 7-4. Definitely looking good over there in New England for sure, as I said. Chiefs did not play this weekend. They remain at 7-4, while the Chargers are behind them at 6-5, but so are the Raiders and the Broncos in the AFC West. They are all at 6-5, while the Chiefs are at 7-4. So anything can happen over there in the AFC West. Let the Chiefs go back to where they were after coming back from a bye week, and let them start their bye week off after their bye week with a bad couple games, and they're back at the bottom of the AFC West at that point. AFC North, like I said, the Ravens are leading that division. They are 8-3, while the Bengals are just behind them at 7-4. AFC South, the Titans are 8-4, leading the AFC South even after a loss this weekend. Colts are 6-6 behind them, while the Texans and Jaguars are each 2-9, and that is just a terrible spot to be. There's no chance for them to get back into the AFC South at this point. And let's go ahead and jump over to the National Football Conference as well. You had the Cowboys. They are 7-4, leading the NFC East. Washington football team is behind them at 5-6. Eagles are 5-7 as well in that division. NFC West, Cardinals lead it, possibly the best team in the NFL, 9-2, while the Rams are 7-4. If the Cardinals continue on the path that they're on, they'll definitely be in the playoffs. NFC North, the Packers are 9-3, while the Vikings are 5-6. So they have, like the Cardinals, pretty close to wrapping up the NFC North at this point. In the NFC South, the Buccaneers are 8-3. Next closest behind them are the Falcons, who are 5-6, and the Falcons and the Saints are 5-6. Sorry, neither of those teams are playing exceptional football. Saints are playing better football than the Falcons, I think, and but the Buccaneers seem like they are on the road to wrapping up the NFC South as well. They've been playing relatively good football. I believe they play the Falcons next week also, so that's pretty much going to seal the deal for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Not quite, but it could. They could always go and lose most of the rest of their games, and then it would fall behind at that point. So we'll see what happens. But this is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your NFL recap for week 13 of the NFL. And I believe that's actually week 12 of the NFL. I apologize. And week 13 is coming up next week. You got the Cowboys and the Saints, Colts and the Texans, and several other pretty solid games. Ravens play the Steelers. 49ers play the Seahawks. That's not going to be an easy game for the Seahawks to get another win. And then the Patriots and the Bills are the Monday Night Football game. That should be Definitely an exciting game. Oh, Chiefs and Broncos, too. That'll be a exciting game to watch as well. So I appreciate those listening to the show. We have a Thursday show where we get together live at a bar and talk sports. Check that one out. Check out the college football recap shows that we do as well as the NFL recap show. But if you want more sports, here is where you're going to get it. So go ahead and subscribe to the show and then keep on coming back every week for more Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. It's your boy Hanger looking for a beer. Actually, we're all looking for a beer. So if you want to buy the guys a beer, at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports on Venmo. That's it. Easy as drinking a beer.